Hello and welcome to. Sorry, I took a drink right before this. Now my throat doesn't want me to talk. Chad, take over.
Yeah, always a flawless intro from Ben here.
It's all good.
Hey,
it's fine. I'm fine. I'm alive.
Everybody, welcome out to Death Battle Cast. If this is your first time, hello, welcome. If it's your first time as a member, say hi in the chat because you get to do that now. We're happy to have you here. This is the show where we debate pointless, nerdy matchups for your entertainment, and because we're also huge nerds. Hey, Kinjarex, thanks for gifting out 5 memberships. See, there we go. If you just got gifted a membership, say hi in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. So today is it's a Chad versus Ben episode, which could be your favorite, could be your least favorite, who knows.
Woohoo.
And so we are arguing Goro. Oh, there we go.
I'm alive. Hello, I exist.
Look at that. I'm trained to look the wrong way now.
Oh,
do I not get an introduction?
No, I'm
feel
gonna
like
get
I'm like
you're not competing. So
yeah, I'm the like
it was coming right after.
I'm the headliner.
Ben versus Ben will be representing Goro. I will be representing Zangief. And joined today on the wonderful episode of Cast is the wonderful Liam Swan. See?
Hey guys, how y'all doing? There's a little bit too much headspace. Let's
mind like a steel trap, the scariest person to debate on the show.
I think the most frightening thing I did was recite, like, in order, all of the season 2 episodes, right?
I rewatched that
with
the other
one
day
mistake.
because it was insane. And then we are also joined by one of the people who puts in the most effort into Death Battle Cast, as well as the show,
Truly.
Billy Burson.
I was feeling unloved. I didn't think you guys needed me.
I was doing a good one.
All right. I'm coming.
Honestly, I am so like you guys don't know the meaning of how hard Billy fucking works for this show. Like, I am so excited to show you this preview today because of how fucking insanely hard Billy and the rest of the VizPost team popped off. Everybody popped off. The Blender team popped off too. It looks fucking so good. It looks so fucking good.
We did
just even the first shot. Ugh.
We did commentary on the episode this morning, and it was my first time seeing the fight. And it's so funny. You mentioned the one shot. Like, we were already just like, oh, wow, this looks really pretty. And then, like, there is this one shot that I was like, my God. And, like, right as I said that, Liam was like, this is my favorite shot. And
this is my favorite shot. And, like, nothing is happening.
And the characters aren't even doing shit.
No, they're not doing anything.
Yeah. So if you didn't figure it out, we are going to be showing a sneak peek for Skyrim versus Dark Souls later in the show, or the Dragonborn versus the Chosen Undead. So stay tuned for that. We'll be getting to that in a little bit. But of course, Chad and I are going to be yelling at each other about a 4-armed half dragon man versus a bear wrestling Russian. You know?
Fuck him up, Chad.
I love
the fight
show.
everybody is excited for. What did you say, Liam? Did you say fuck him up, Chad?
This is the first time Liam's on my side. I'm so excited.
Wait, hang on. A jury is supposed to be unbiased. What is this?
That's not true.
You're supposed to wait until the end of the show to pass judgment.
In the American justice system, give me a break. Let's all be a little less naive here.
This is the death battle justice system. It's a little
death battle justice system.
Nope.
That's the sentence.
Gelatin Man, thank you for giving
so
20
hard.
memberships. It's amazing.
Thank you, Gelatin Man.
Oh my God.
So
okay, well,
impartial jury.
Hopefully all of you are going to be impartial watching this live right now on Tuesday, as well as Billy. As usual, the way this works is Chad and I will be arguing for our respective characters, and then at the end of the show, all of you will be able to vote on who should win. Liam will vote, hopefully impartially. Billy will vote, and you all will vote as well. So let's get into it.
I would
Goro
go really quick
versus Zangief.
Ben, we can see when people upgrade their membership because we have the new membership tiers now, and Eric the Carrot just upgraded to planet level. That's cool. I didn't know we do that. Apparently we can see it in real time.
If you don't know, planet level champions get to watch death battles 24 hours early, just like first membership. So if you want to see Dark Souls versus Skyrim
a day early,
go ahead and jump on that planet level.
We should just do a t-shirt that just says biased on it. Wouldn't that be great? It's just like the death battle like skull symbol.
We can
and then
pitch it.
Biased. Yeah, right? Isn't that
great? We've joked for so long about releasing 2 t-shirts together. One that was like I agree with death battle, and one that was like I disagree. I can't remember the exact terminology we were going to use, but like,
dude, that's like classic.
Really funny.
It's like what the current whatever the dude was who was like Elvis's promoter. He would like make both the merchandise, right? It was like the I love Elvis merchandise, and then like I hate Elvis merchandise. It was like
cornering the market.
Yep.
Kage,
yeah.
Kage,
Really, Kage's in here. Drop some memberships. If you are getting a membership,
your name
for one of these people, give them shout out.
You have a soul of light.
We all appreciate that. Okay.
Zangief. It'll say biased. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It'll say biased, but then it'll have the I scratched out, like based. Yeah.
You got your boot shirt, Liam. Like,
yeah.
Would you all buy that? I don't know.
Did you buy a biased/based shirt?
Hang on.
We need
Chad,
to get sick, right?
We need the poll.
Chad, go ahead and start your 60-second rundown, and I'm gonna make a poll.
All right, but here's the thing: we need to take advantage more of the like print to order merchandise. I think like that could really help out for shirts like these. All right, fire it up, Mike. You're already on it. Oh, you're so good. Love Mike. All right, Zangief, the Red Cyclone, hero of Russia, professional wrestler, and fighter of bears. This beast of a man is one of the strongest of the Street Fighters. Zangief exists solely for wrestling and Russia. And in today's climate, that's not the best, but we're going to not think about that part, okay? Over the years, fighting Shadaloo and competing in the World Warrior Tournament, he has perfected his wrestling style and learned new moves and techniques to keep up with the strongest Street Fighters in the world. Any Street Fighter player knows that the scariest place to be in all of Street Fighter is in range of Zangief. It doesn't matter how many arms Goro has, he'll never be able to beat Zangief without an extra hand. I don't need the rest of the time.
Damn.
I'll just do that.
Okay. Well,
that is what we call flex.
With these last 5 seconds, I will say very quickly, the poll is overwhelmingly positive, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
We'll pitch this, I guess, and see what happens.
With the I crossed out, I guess.
That is very clever.
Although a full quarter of everybody is wondering, what the fuck, Liam?
Those would be yeses.
So,
that's natural.
Those would all translate to yeses.
Do they?
I feel strongly about that. That's a funny shirt.
Let's talk about Goro. So, 60 seconds. I'll probably need 10. No, I shouldn't say that. The time's already going. Okay. So Goro is a Shokan warrior. Prince Goro has brought much honor to the Shokan race by fighting for Shao Kahn for hundreds of years and winning all the time. Goro is just a winner. Straight, that's the best thing I can say about him. He wins all the time. He's 2,000-year-old half-human dragon. He's been undefeated for 500 years leading up to the first Mortal Kombat tournament. He actually won the Mortal Kombat tournament by beating the Great Kung Lao, who previously beat Shang Tsung. So he's way up there in terms of tier levels. And according to Mortal Kombat 1, none who have fought him have reported any weaknesses. 0 weaknesses. The guy is going to crush you. In fact, none who have opposed him have ever survived. One of games happen and they beat him up. So.
Yeah.
There was that time Johnny Cage punched him in the nuts.
Thank you. One of the most memorable moments in the Mortal Kombat movies is highlighting Goro's weakness.
The movie's not canon. The movie's not canon.
You remember that face where he's like,
Look. In the movie canon, Goro has a dick you can punch. In the games, that never comes up. So I don't know if he's got a dick you can punch.
You can do that move to him in the game. You can do the drop. You can do the split
for the
punch thing.
Yeah, the Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
You can do that to anybody, even skeleton warriors. So it doesn't.
Yeah. Well,
in the game, Johnny Cage doesn't need a dick to punch. He just needs to punch.
He creates one.
He manifests a dick. His fist.
He simulates the effect of a dick punch.
A dick onto you. The Shokans have to reproduce somehow, so they probably have dicks.
They got some weird. They got 4 arms. I'm sure they have other ways of doing things.
Maybe they're made like
dark road.
Guy, right?
We're going down a dark road.
Yeah.
All right. Look. Like at the end of the day,
why do you think he needs 4 arms? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Chad. See, I came up with that. I came up with several variations of that a few minutes ago, and I just didn't say it because I knew I would take it too far.
We'll go down this path together.
At the end of the day, we're not going down this path.
Fine.
I am tearing you off of these godforsaken rails and putting you back on the ones that we should be on. At the end of the day, what is Zangief? Zangief, like, he's impressive.
He's a Russian.
He's a badass.
Yeah.
But he's just a guy. He's just a guy who happens to be really strong. Goro is a fucking alien champion from another dimension who won the Mortal Kombat tournament 9 times in a row, has been undefeated for 500 years. The guy is, the reason why I called him a winner is that is literally his defining trait. He just always wins. Unless Liu Kang is involved.
Or Kotal
But
Kahn.
that's how Mortal Kombat just works, right? Liu Kang shows up and he kills everybody. Even Shao Kahn, who can destroy planets, Liu Kang can still punch him through the chest. So, and it took Liu Kang to defeat Goro. Like, Kung Lao, who was their greatest champion ever, got crushed by Goro. So the guy is on an extremely high tier of power that I don't think Zangief can keep up with.
So first of all, not just a human, he's a Russian, and we all know that Russians have an advantage in fighting just right out the gate. It's just built into them.
Apparently not.
I don't know about that right now, but sure.
I know this is the thing that sucks. When I was literally writing and researching this, I'm just like, ugh, like fuck, like I really hate the landscape that Russia's like a supervillain again, and it's their government, and by that I mean Putin, not the people.
Zangief is just he's a citizen. What are we talking about here? It has nothing to do with
no,
that.
he's very tied into Russian politics, Liam.
That's true. That's true.
Like if Zangief were alive and real, he'd be on the front.
We don't know. We don't know. He was a political stooge for Gorbachev, but we don't know if he would maintain that for.
So much so we've even seen that like Gorbachev had like manipulated him to doing things that was only for Gorbachev's own game, not even for own game, and he still was just like, "Fuck yeah, Russia."
Actually, that does make sense.
So like, it'd be bad.
Well, you're not really helping your argument, Chad.
I know.
Like,
I'm getting this out of the way now.
Captain America.
Goro is like, he looks like a dumbass, but Goro's actually a brilliant tactician. Like, he's a warlord. He commands armies. He's a brilliant person. And Zangief's over here being a fucking dumbass, getting manipulated all the time.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're thinking of the movie for the stereotype that he's stupid, and then yes, he.
You just said
and then
he was
yes,
stupid.
he did blindly. He put Russia above the fact that Gorbachev was manipulating him. But
you just said
he's
that
not
he was
actually a stupid character. He's
horrible...
actually a pretty good tactician. And you know what else he has? He has a great heart, and you can't say that about Goro. He once entered a World Warrior tournament just for children.
To what end?
Wait, to benefit children or to fight?
No, children? To benefit children.
Yeah.
To fight children. Clearly.
Yeah, they were like, Zangief, you're like the best. We'd love to see you fight. And he was like, okay, kids. And then he went and fucking took out Seth, who is incredibly powerful. And arguably, it's very fuzzy in canon who actually did it, destroyed the Psycho Drive. But he's one of the people who's in contention for destroying the Psycho Drive. But let's get into this. So, absolute, like, top of his class wrestler. And when I say that, I mean that in Street Fighter terms, because, you know, when we see wrestlers in like today's day and age, you know, you might see him do like a flip or two or something like that. Zangief can easily jump to the height of a building, like effortlessly multiple times. And every one of his pile drivers, grapples and things like that, he is flipping and slamming heads into concrete and hard enough to break it. And I guess, again, jumping to the height of a building. But here's one thing that I really want to focus on that I didn't really think about. Is like, I've never been a Zangief man, love Street Fighter, but this dude has struggled so hard against projectile users that he learned how to manipulate ki to set his hand on fire, which completely negates all projectiles. And I was just like, I was going through that, I was like, I've never really thought about that, but it's like, oh yeah, like really strong wrestler guy was so fed up with the bullshit of projectiles that they wrote it in, like legitimately. It's through his story, like even as far back as Street Fighter 2 when he was first came in, it talks about how much he hates projectiles and dragon, like Hadoukens and dragon punches. He's like, he just talks shit about. So finally he struggled so hard he learned to adapt and use ki just to fight those people. That's how tenacious he is as a fighter.
And all he learned was how to block them, not how to actually shoot fire.
It also hurts people.
That would be unbalanced, Ben. You can't give.
We're not talking about game balance.
You can't
we're talking
give
about what the character's capable of.
Can't give a
Ellen
grappler.
Schlosser,
And
by the
if
way,
he
thanks for the
spent
gift and
time
stuff.
learning Ki, you'd think he would learn how to throw a fireball himself, but
You
instead
can't-
he only got so far as he could block it.
Yo, scariest
can't
thing I could
make your
possibly
best-
imagine in Street Fighter is Zangief
Gonna
with a
say.
projectile.
You cannot make-
Thanks real quick, Alan Schloser, for gifting membership. Whoever gets that is very, very happy.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can't make
and-
your best. You can't make your best grappler your best zoner. That's
Right.
Broly from Dragon Ball Fighters.
But here's
That's
the
why
other
he's
thing
like the best
too.
character.
Yeah.
See, but what I'm saying
I
is
got through
Zangief
it.
should have the Broly mindset if he wants to win against Goro, and he doesn't, clearly.
Well, Goro does
So-
have a projectile, right?
Well, he does, yes. Like, he doesn't need it, though.
I
But
mean, it
either
would be
way,
negated.
he could use it to distract Zangief and then come in with a flying jump that rockets him into the sky and flies back down and smashes Zangief into the ground and just obliterates him.
Wait, are you
Easy.
you talking about jumping? Don't jump in on Zangief. They fixed that. So first, like he has he has special attacks and super arts that will, if somebody jumps in on him, he will leap into the air, grab them, spin them around in a horrific tornado move, and just blast them into the ground or the side of the screen.
Yeah, but you're talking about Street Fighter jumping, in which is like, I'm going to jump in an arc towards him, and it's going to telegraph my move.
Can we talk
I'm talking about
feats?
Mortal Kombat jump, where Goro literally rockets into the sky, just vanishes from sight, and then rockets back down and crushes him beneath his feet.
You just jump
Zangief's
above
never
the
going to see
screen,
that coming.
right? Like he just jumped above the screen. Like you don't have to say
Yes.
it. Like you're like, yeah.
Out of sight.
There's no way. Yes, out of sight. The second
The
Goro
second
passes
you
the
cross-
screen, it's like they live in a world where they just look up to infinite,
You're playing
infinite
Zangief.
darkness.
He's gone.
And
If
You
you're
know that-
playing Zangief in the game, then your, perceptions translate to it because you don't know where he's coming from. So Zangief doesn't know where he's coming from, and so Goro comes in out of nowhere.
Does Zangief,
this is the
like,
weirdest
scale to-
argument.
Wouldn't Zangief not have Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, X-Men, etc.? The Marvel games, like they can jump fucking high.
does Zangief scale to?
Yeah, but the camera follows them, so you can still perceive them.
Does Zangief scale to Hagar? Did you say, Chad?
I was trying to roll it out softly, but we could do that if you want.
We're talking about jumping really high.
All right,
I just
fine.
figured it would be a good.
So look, here's the
Wait,
thing.
hang on. Am I going up against two people here?
No,
Okay.
not at all. Because no one's ever teamed up against me before. That's never happened.
I'm loving being on this side. Like again, Liam on my side is my favorite. So look, I know of another feat that I'm gonna bring up later, and I already had that one. But this one I will say Liam did send my way to give full credit.
Jeez. Okay.
So
We used it in an episode.
Mayor Mike Hagar can pile drive a person from one side of the planet to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So some calculations were done, which would put it at Mach 120,000. And it would output nearly 41 megatons of TNT. I then wanted to make sure that this was confirmed and how we would scale this. And it is mentioned in a Street Fighter cutscene that Zangief is comparable to Mike Hagar. They talk about how they're like on similar levels of strength. So
The
Hagar's
explosion that
stronger then.
That's a
yeah,
lot.
He spent dinner in the chat. Mentions it. Like Zangief lost to Hagar. Like Hagar's just
not in our death battle, Ben.
yeah.
a death battle from like over a decade ago.
I don't think that Hagar is. I mean, I think that they're all like relatively at the same level. Like there's an implication that Cody is stronger because he was able to like kind of batter around base Ryu, but then once Evil Ryu came out, he got his ass kicked. So I think that
because that's what
Hagar is.
Yeah, there because like it is mentioned, I don't remember where, but that they were like they're talking about how like the final fight characters specifically are like on like an upper echelon, right, compared to the Street Fighters. But then as they've like had more interactions, like again, there was this specific thing where they're just like mentioned that Zangief is like comparable to Mike Hagar. So even if Hagar's like a little bit stronger, come on, man, like they actually had to struggle to fight each other, like, and he can like Mach 120k somebody through a planet. Like,
It's also worth mentioning that like the explosion that Hagar causes when he goes through the other side of the planet is large enough to like completely eclipse like a
a
continent.
city. Oh, it's a
Like, the
oh,
explosion
I thought it was
is-
a city side. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the megaton thing is from is from kinetic energy, which is fine, like the kinetic energy of Hugo, and assuming it's Hugo because you can use it on any character in the game, and Hugo's the heaviest. But in reality, like the explosion is like the size of Africa, so like, it could be a lot higher.
What game is this from?
It's from EX.
And see, without Liam sending me that, I would not have found it because God, I fucking hate EX. I hate it. I hate it with all my being, and I'm sorry if you're an EX player.
There also is in one of the instruction booklets for Final Fight, there is a thing that says that Hagar can pile drive at the speed of light, which actually makes this consistent since this is like some fraction of speed, like a relativistic amount.
And we
like
have
100,000 something. It's like an eighth.
All right. Well, everybody in chat wants me to talk about this now, so I'll go ahead and jump into it. So if we're talking about, scaling Zangief to somebody who is canonically stronger than him, but like just a little bit, then we can do that with Goro and Shao Kahn, who's basically on the next tier above, right?
Okay.
Liu Kang and Shao Kahn are kind of in that top because they can fight each other, and Goro's right below. And Shao Kahn, of course, as we've discussed before, can take hits from Elder Gods. Raiden, of course, fought him with the power of the Elder Gods. We know that the Elder Gods can fire gigantic lasers that move, like lasers, like light speed. They can grow to the size of planets. They can crush planets. Like, even if Goro isn't quite on their level, even being almost there puts them faster and stronger than Zangief, bar none. Like, it's no contest. The end.
I didn't see. We got to this too quick. Damn it, Liam. I don't want to go to the next part. But you know what? So instead, first, Mike, did I send you those images? Yeah, I did. Okay, thank God. Hey, Mike, will you pull up bears? Talking about this. So Zangief once was exploring through the snow-covered wilderness of Russia and came across a pack of bears. The first, the leader bear tried to fight him, and somehow he beat this bear's ass so badly that all of the rest of the bears learned wrestling. And
this is how it's done in Russia. This is it.
And converted to following Zangief as their new Lord and Savior. That little brown blur at the bottom is the leader bear whose ass he beat.
So he became the pack leader of the bears.
Yes.
Of grizzly bears.
Look at him. And they adapted human wrestling. They have learned this.
Wait, does he have a bear army? Is that a thing?
Yes. So, I mean, look at them.
And it didn't immediately explode from Zangief's attacks, which means that it scales.
And I can't stress this enough. Somehow this all transpired in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'll give it to you. Zangief's a cool dude, and his whole relationship with bears is really fun. It's not gonna matter against Goro. I mean, Goro is like him fighting 1,000 bears all wrapped into one.
I have a question about
After all, Goro is just 1,000 bears. We all know this.
I mean, he's a dragon. He's half dragon, and a dragon equals 1,000 bears. So this is hard facts. This is hard science.
Math checks out. Yeah.
What's your question? Cutoff? Where's the cutoff for scaling to the Elder Gods? Because, Liu Kang definitely fights Shao Kahn, or he fights at least a version of Shao Kahn. But other characters fight Liu Kang and keep up with him, like Kitana and Kung Lao and Shang Tsung and Scorpion. Do they all scale to Shao Kahn? Where's the cutoff? Yeah. I mean, okay, Kitana was he was playing with Kitana, but the other characters, it was clear that there was at least a fight. So where is
it though? I mean, he beats all their asses. He wins.
He beats Goro's
ass too. Is there anybody who beats Liu Kang who's not, Shao Kahn or Goro level? I don't think so.
You snuck that or Goro level in there real quick.
Yeah, well, because
I'm saying
technically Goro's not on that level,
right,
but those top levels of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, what I'm questioning is where's the cutoff and is Goro within that? Because this is a question that comes up a lot with Mortal Kombat, because a lot of the god tiers have super crazy powerful feats, but to what degree do the characters below them scale? And this is something that we deliberate a lot on for all of our. Yeah. So I don't see people usually making the claim that Goro scales to Shao Kahn. but I'm not like against it. I just have not heard it.
He doesn't
before.
scale directly because he is weaker than Shao
Well,
Kahn.
right, but it's also
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Again, we're
to
talking
what
about
degree?
like comparing the tiers basically.
Yeah. But like, to what degree? Is it like ballpark? He's within the ballpark, so you can scale, or is he not within the ballpark and it's too ambiguous to like scale directly?
I mean, he has to be somewhat near in order to have defeated Kung Lao, who is basically just proto Liu Kang.
Well, we don't know how powerful. I mean, yeah, he's proto Liu Kang, but we don't know if he's the same because he beat him, right? So we know that he's not as strong as Liu Kang, but to what degree? I'm not trying to harass your argument here.
3%. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just asking because, like, if it's like, and also if those feats, like if Shao Kahn and Raiden have to be in some like kind of unrestricted form, which I've heard talked about a lot in terms of like the higher end feats, like
because a lot of
that
it,
wouldn't
Raiden
scale.
was restricted. He lost his Elder God powers.
Yeah, I mean, he and Shao Kahn are both like I don't know if there is like, because I've heard the restricted form a lot in terms of like the gods like Raiden and Shao Kahn.
Raiden has a restricted form. Shao Kahn, as far as I'm aware, does not. There was like a fan theory or something like that, or
I wasn't sure like what part of that is like
is
a
it
fan
the movie?
theory.
One of the movie introduces him as like an elder god, I think.
Yeah.
And so there was this thought that he was once an elder god who was banished or something like that, but that's Shinnok's story.
He can definitely fight.
Has a restricted form.
He can definitely fight elder gods once he goes to Earth. Because then he
sure. Yeah. I was talking about when he didn't beat any elder gods. He survived attacks from the elder gods. The elder gods sealed him or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. And then Cetrion has Cetrion shows up and theoretically has a restricted form, but regardless, that form is able to do the laser feat and the planet crushing feats and things like that. And Shao Kahn is able to merge worlds, blah blah blah. We've talked about this before. Just the point is that in order for Goro to have any sort of chance of being on that level, he's got to be closer to Shao Kahn than like Johnny Cage.
But he's never true. I mean, I guess, but he hasn't fought Shao Kahn.
Well, sure. I get that. Like it makes it a little. Mortal Kombat's weird, right? Liam, that's what Liam's getting at, is that Mortal Kombat is a really weird fucking series to try to figure out a level at.
Right.
Which is also why I think we should go into this by saying maybe power levels don't actually matter, and their grappling and techniques are what actually matter. Because I think at the end of the day, we could argue both of them could be pretty similar in power.
That's definitely more interesting.
Until I bring up another feat.
Well, sure.
Reaching into the bag.
We're saving it. It's saving it. But I do want to chime in real quick and say, I was going to talk about any of the crossover stuff, but I'm a calendar man says, Zangief once beat Dimitri, who's comparable to Jeddah, who created an alternate universe that sucked the souls out of all the demon realm into it. And this is from Puzzle Fighter.
Okay, I see people in the chat saying that he's not even close to Shao Kahn. How do you know? He almost killed Kotal Kahn. Kotal Kahn then ripped his arms off, and then he was still able to keep fighting people.
Shao Kahn did kind of whoop Kotal Khan's ass and break his back. That is technically what happened in K11. I'm sorry,
but Kotal Khan is strong.
I suppose. I mean, I guess Kotal Khan doesn't have like the souls that he's absorbed, but also that Shao Kahn didn't, if I recall correctly. I don't remember. Whatever. Oh, yeah, no, he did. Because that was from the past. So,
could you argue that Shao Kahn is only at that level of power when he's fully absorbed, like the souls of Earthrealm? Because that's when he fights the Elder Gods, and that's when he has that like yellow kind of golden aura or whatever around him. Is when he absorbs all the souls of Earthrealm. Except for
I don't think he had absorbed all of Earthrealm yet. He had arrived on Earthrealm.
He arrived on Earthrealm.
Some of them. That's right. He had the Soulnados going on.
He had the Soulnados, and in the original trilogy, it states that once he stepped into Earthrealm, he absorbed all of their souls. And technically, so you can assume that
we are talking about the
yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, Mortal Kombat's weird when it comes to
that event is like basically the same.
Which again is why I think we should maybe just ignore all that shit, because it's gonna get really complicated and weird. And just say, hey, which one of them is the better wrestler?
Potemkin would beat both of them from Guilty Gear. I know that for sure.
Sure, okay.
I mean,
Potemkin is the grappler.
Zangief is absolutely the better wrestler and grappler. Like, you can see it in his technique and his variety of moves. Like Goro goes.
Is Goro
Zangief-
even technically a grappler?
Yeah,
Like,
are you talking
like
about the
character type?
claymation version of Goro?
He's got the range of motion of
Even in more
swinging an
modern
armature.
ones, he's that. Yeah, no, go Billy, go.
No.
Okay, it's like even in more modern ones, it's like, I mean, you can just see the different techniques and the moves. Like Zangief is spinning, flipping people, twisting, and landing. Like he will turn someone upside down, flip them around, get his like feet in their armpits, and land with their head upside down. Like I think he is absolutely the more skilled grappler.
He is a showman. Zangief is there for Flash.
No,
Goro is there to conquer worlds.
He is not there for Flash because he was literally it took forever for them to convince him to actually do professional wrestling matches that were televised and on TV. He was like out training, fighting some fucking bears, just being like, all I care about is my art of wrestling and being better and bulking up and like perfecting my body.
Yep.
And they were like, no, Zangief, come on, we'll make you super famous. And he's like, fuck that. I only like, I don't care. And then how they got him to do professional wrestling matches, where they were like, it will spread like the glory of Russia. And then he was like, fine.
On board.
Like, okay, I will do it for Russia.
Look, you don't have to be all Flash just for like performing for other people. You can be all Flash for yourself to improve yourself, just like you can improve yourself with our sponsor for this week's episode, HelloFresh.
You want to get ripped like these guys, you got to eat right, and you got to eat some delicious meals.
I don't know if
And
I
it's
can promise that.
From HelloFresh.
Zangief and Goro are a little inhumanly ripped, but I guess you can try.
Might give you shin hair, you don't know.
This
that is a
episode
good thing.
is sponsored by HelloFresh. By now, you've probably heard of HelloFresh, but do you really know what it is? With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. No matter your lifestyle, you'll always find delicious recipes on the HelloFresh menu. Even pescatarian and veggie, vegan, etc., that kind of stuff. You can even swap proteins and sides to make a recipe just how you like it. And let's be real, figuring out what's for dinner is not at the top of everybody's summer activity wish list. So HelloFresh delivers mouthwatering chef-crafted recipes so you can spend your summer doing whatever you want. So go to HelloFresh.com/16 and use code CAST16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Again, using the code CAST16 gets you 16 free meals at HelloFresh.com/CAST16 plus free shipping. Thanks again to HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, so let's go ahead and table this discussion just a little bit about the whole Zangief versus Goro thing, because obviously,
look
Goro
at him, he's
wins.
so
We already know
excited,
this.
he's so pleased with himself.
And let's go ahead and check out
The Liam episode.
the Liam episode. No, we have a sneak peek for you guys. It's time to check out the sneak peek for Dark Souls versus Skyrim. Let's go ahead and show it.
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead. Usbruna!
Hey, Gelatin
my
Man,
gosh.
thanks for the 10 memberships. Y'all hyped?
Roll. People were like, I think when I described it back in January, I was like, it's going to be like Sauron versus Lich King with more rolling. And that's
I guess so. Yeah, and if we get to the dodge roll joke right away, you know we've got a lot of cool stuff planned for this episode. So there's
When
so much
Billy-
more going on.
when Billy sent me the first shots of like that first shot with the Dragonborn approaching the kiln, the first flame with that lighting, I I was like, holy fuck, it looks so fucking good. It has a very kind of like Demon Souls aspect to it too, where it's like it kind of like feels sick. Like there's like an added kind of like yellowish tint to it rather than the solid like gray, which I really liked. The lighting is so fucking good. If you'll notice, when the Chosen Undead turns his helmet towards Dragonborn, he has the reflection of the Dragonborn on his helmet, which is like the European box art for Dark Souls. That image with like the Black Knight on it. Just so much stuff. I wanted to like cram this with as many references as possible. There's a big one coming up right after this that everyone's gonna laugh at. I'm just very, very, very excited. It looks really, really good.
Liam, the push into the Dragonborn's head near the start, was that intentionally a reference on your part, or did I just make that one?
No, that was an intentional. That was an intentional reference.
Good.
Yeah,
I
and that's
it there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's Tom Shock as people were like, are they gonna have voice actors? And I was like, yes, but not in the way that you would expect. And we have Tom Shock playing the voices of Kingseeker Frampt and Darkstalker Koth as a way of explaining the setup to the fight. It's good, it's dope. I'm happy.
Very quickly,
Yes.
Kinjarex gifted 20 memberships. So Kinjarex got hyped off that trailer for sure.
That's
Also,
wild.
one of my
Hell
favorite
yes.
things is like when we do this sneak preview, like the first thing everyone seems to be looking for is like, does the song have lyrics? Like, 'cause that's the first thing immediately is like, lyrics, yes! Like,
All right, and that episode is going to be coming out this upcoming weekend for first members and planet leveling up champions. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. I'm very excited to see what you all think of this one. And yes, I will say I saw some people asking about like armor and weapon choices. So the way we're kind of approaching it is just give them everything. You can technically level up both the Dragonborn and the Chosen Undead to like max level and everything with every item in the game. So we're just giving them literally everything they could ever possibly have. And that's how we're pitting them against each other. So the fight's obviously not going to have literally everything in the games
I wish,
in it,
but no.
but it is considered. It would be great if we could, but that would be like a 50-minute long fight. We don't have time for that. All right. Speaking of what we don't got time for, I don't have time for this this shade against Goro here because he's obviously gonna kick Zangief's ass. Let's go ahead and look at this image that I sent you, Mike. That is specifically about how Goro kicks ass.
what are we looking for?
Okay.
Oh, he doesn't have his arms.
So Goro at one point loses his arms thanks to Kotal Khan. Now this is mostly due to his own arrogance. He unfortunately thinks Kotal Khan is not a threat and gets his arms ripped off when he's basically got Kotal Khan in a death grip. But afterwards, he learns his lesson and decides, I'm going to go get my arms fixed. And, Onaga the Dragon King is probably the one who can do it. So he goes to find these people who know, shit about the Dragon King. And they're like, nah, man, you can't come in here. So he beats their asses with no arms and just walks in. He's a fucking king. He's great. Yeah, he doesn't even need arms to beat your shit in.
I mean,
so
I will just say, like, what a fucking badass moment for like a character who's known for his arms, like literally having 4 arms. To them, that writer was like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking hardcore. I'm gonna have him go in and just literally kick the shit out of people.
And of note, at the last character in that image was Kenshi. We don't actually see it happen, but
Neither
off
did he.
screen, he finds Kenshi and he beats the shit out of him and somehow drags him without arms to the Red Dragon lair and just brings him there because Kenshi was part of their group or whatever.
Good God.
So
Dude played X as an armless guy versus a blind guy. Throw Professor X
it's
in there.
a little
Jesus.
fucked up when you think about that, but I didn't come up with it. That was the Mortal Kombat X writers. So
Also, Kenshi might as well not be blind. Let's be real here. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's not. Like, he's got psychic powers.
he's like
It's fine.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the guy's crazy powerful. And Goro beat his ass in even without his arms, which you'd think would be a huge handicap, but nah, you can still beat up Kenshi.
You know what's so funny? I have such a specific counter to that. Zangief has a move that specifically is a counter only to kicks. So that if someone kicks him and he throws this out, he literally will grab their foot, twist them, and then body slam them into the ground. It works on every kick. So, I'm sorry, it's just very funny.
But I wanted to.
Yes, but again, that's the same jump kick move that happens instantaneously. It's like super fast. So
I wanted
I
to.
think he's gonna have a hard time countering it.
Well, you can just block it.
Sure.
That's.
Oh yeah, sorry. All Zangief has to do is hold back. No, I'm just kidding.
No, there's a
Mortal
cross-
Kombat
Well,
has a
Goro
block
has to do
block
is
block.
hold right.
What a
trigger.
waste.
Yeah, because he can actually move it. Mortal Kombat, many of the games have 3 dimensions. Zangief is usually just on 2.
Again,
Um,
fucking EX.
I think it's worth mentioning that Goro does have like an experience advantage in terms of like length of time.
he's
over
fought in a lot of
Zangief.
wars.
Yeah,
2,000 years old. He's conquered multiple planets,
but
squashed many rebellions
And people.
and people.
Nikali is also hundreds and hundreds of years old too. He's like an ancient being, and despite what he was clearly being fucking built up to be, which is this massive kind of Akuma-esque threat in SF5, he gets fucking bodied by like literally everyone. He's in everyone's story mode, and they wipe his ass like every
Has
single
he
time.
trained and conquered for thousands of years, though? He hasn't done anything like that.
I don't know exactly what he is, but he's like he's called an emissary of the gods, and is essentially some mysterious like spirit of violence and darkness.
I unfortunately don't know a lot about Street Fighter
That is
5
hundreds of
because
years old.
I didn't get into it. I didn't like it very much.
No, it's not. It got a lot better, but I think that even like the starting, like it sounds like even the start of SF6 is going to be better than like almost all of SF5.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for. SF6 looks sick as fuck.
Mhm.
I am scared about the PC port. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, PC ports have been sucking ass recently. Like
But I don't-
every PC port has been jank as fuck.
But I don't want to buy a PS5 just for Street Fighter. But then again, I did buy an Xbox One just for Killer Instinct. So we'll see.
I bought a PS5 for Elden
But
Ring.
all my sticks,
I didn't even need to.
all my sticks work on my computer.
Okay, so Nikali is an ancient Aztec warrior who is basically transformed into the emissary of the gods. Every few hundred years, the stars align and herald the hour of battle, where he just shows up and starts consuming souls, and then he's gone. So
Very Mortal
he's
Kombat.
Not, yeah, it kind of Mortal Kombat, but also he's not like continuously conquering people for thousands of years, unlike Goro. So I don't know if it necessarily like matches up in that way.
Gotcha. All right, I think it's about time to talk about some dumb shit.
Let's do it.
Okay, so in God, one of the most extreme things that happened in Street Fighter comics, Hakan and E Honda team up, take a tour of the world, and while this is happening, a like Armageddon style meteor starts plummeting towards the Earth. So to stop this, Hakan and E Honda team up, and Hakan does his little oily, slicky thing, while Honda then also does his torpedo headbutt and flies into the fucking meteor and explodes it and saves the planet. Mike, do you want to bring up the panel of Honda and Hakan? It's humongous, like a massive ass meteor, and they're just having a good time eating some ice cream and shit, and then it's like, better save the planet. And so they do this, and what's so funny is like there's nothing that can be interpreted differently. Look at how like Honda's
That bird.
up. Like, yeah. Oh,
Did the bird die? Is the bird vaporized?
Yeah, probably. Oh god, yeah, that bird's fucked. There's no way that.
Maybe he has the control to let the bird just slide gently over his shoulders.
He
you know,
ate
it's
the bird and like,
kind of
and, like
power we
kept
do.
it safe inside his
Yeah.
mouth.
And so, like, the fact that someone could be thrown into what is likely the upper atmosphere, and uses the head first, I want to point out, like, it destroys a meteor. So there's obviously people have looked at how insane that is and done some calculations. So this guy online ran it, and it comes out to, on the low end, 582 teratons of TNT. And now you might be like, oh, well, that's kind of an outlier. That's like ridiculous. That actually didn't happen. It's not canon. There is a moment where the official Street Fighter website referenced the time that Honda and Hakan took a trip around the world together. So it is actually canon, and that happened. And if you want,
how does the website mention it make it canon?
what do you mean?
Ben
It's the
saw
official Street Fighter
outrageous-
website. Like, you remember when they took that tour around the world? Like, come on. Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, if
That's the official source.
that's fine.
It's another reference.
It's also
Is
like
the
a story mode
website
thing. Like,
canon? I don't understand.
I think the story mode is stuff that like has happened,
Oh,
except for like obviously non-canon events.
well,
right?
fighting
Like,
game story mode stuff gets so weird, right? Because it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, did you beat the game with this character? Did that actually happen in canon? And they're like, sometimes, and that's why like they've started to leave it like kind of vague. It's like the Psycho Drive thing, right? They were like, could have been Zangief.
yeah, like
could have been,
like
I think, Cammy.
character endings where they beat the main bad guy. Those aren't canon because there's a canonical like no, Liu Kang beat Shao Kahn, nobody else.
Right.
Like stuff like that, like those little cutscenes. Those all happen.
Yeah,
It's like with like Dan fighting Sagat. That was happening.
but oh yeah, and so Zangief regularly fights and trains with E Honda. They became bros, and Honda specifically respects Zangief's technique. If you want to bring up that other panel I have, Mike. So this is like, I think, the thing that led to them becoming friends, and it's the basically they're in this like tournament together, and Zangief was doing some stuff, and then Honda was like specifically impressed. So did I give you that? I might not have. I realized I think I only sent you 2 images. Whoops, never mind.
Well,
It didn't upload.
okay.
I got it.
Doesn't count.
Sending it now. He'll pull it up whenever. Go ahead, Ben.
It didn't happen. It's not.
But
canon.
anyway.
you didn't send it in.
But anyways, yeah, it's not canon. I didn't send it. No, but Zangief's on that level. Like, he keeps up with Honda all the time. They train together, they fight, and like, this is again meteor level. This is like massively like citywide destruction, planet level potentially. Again, I was using low end calc, but yeah, there they are. So like specifically, like Honda mentions how much he appreciated Zangief's technique, and they're like ready to throw down. And then they fought a bunch
Right.
together after that.
C3M, welcome to planet level. The level that Goro can potentially reach, but I really don't see how Zangief can, based on meteor or whatever. It doesn't
What
matter.
do you mean?
That segue.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter against Goro. Plus, let's be real here. At the end of the day, there is one thing that Goro has that Zangief just can't compete with.
I knew this is coming.
There's 2 extra arms.
Yeah.
Once they're grappling characters, they'll grapple each other. Goro's got extra claps. Like, he can do whatever he wants with. So
Those are just extra
It's
things for Zangief to grab onto and pile drive him into the
But
ground.
Zangief only has 2 hands. He can only grab 2 arms. There's always going to be 2 extra arms that can.
Great, so they can
Just
flail
get
around
mixed
or
in.
try and punch him while he's flipping him through the air and
Goro
destroying
doesn't
him.
flail around. He punches into people's chests and rips out their hearts. And that's all he's got to do to Zangief once Zangief grabs the other 2 arms. Done.
You know, Zangief could probably just use his air manipulation to prevent those arms from doing that, because he straight up fucking
What?
has that. Dude, legitimately, I was
Zangief
looking
is
into
not
it.
an airbender. Give
He
me a
is.
break.
He absolutely fucking is.
I don't know what this is.
So first of all, when he does lariats, you see the air spin around, and he's clearly not spinning fast enough to like generate that. The lariats
Okay.
also will suck people in certain games. And then on top of that, in specials, in anti-aerial specials, you will literally see the air like suck people to him as he then goes. So he absolutely does have air manipulation.
Okay, sure. By spinning himself around at ridiculous speed. Yeah.
But he
But-
does it. That's what's interesting, because you don't see him like he's not a blur like when he does his lariat. It's literally like blah, blah, like it's very mundane. But it's the air sucks people in. And then we also see that, like I said, he'll jump into the air, and then the air will like seemingly suck someone towards him as then he spins and flips. So like
Okay. I mean, so he manipulates the air to bring people closer to him so that he can grapple him, which then leads to the situation where he's grappling 2 arms, Goro's grappling 2 arms, and Goro has 2 free arms.
You
And he
don't
can
ever want to
punch
be
through
in
his
Zangief's
chest.
range. He's got
I can say the
the
same
other
thing about
arms can
Goro. It
punch
doesn't
all they
matter.
want. They're not going to do shit. Dude, Zangief will literally flex off attacks. He's broken a sword. He's been he got like straight
Ooh,
up like
sword.
Actually, the chat has mentioned the sword quite a bit. I think that's something that
I know, they wanted me to
that
bring it up.
we should definitely.
But then also, like, we all know how powerful Balrog's punches are, right? Can kill an elephant easily. And I know this is like down after we're literally talking about meteors and planet level shit. But like, Balrog goes to punch him as hard as he fucking can and kill him. Zangief doesn't even block it, takes it straight to the fucking heart, and then just flexes it off. Like, and then Balrog gets shot backwards. Like,
Sounds like he's giving Goro plenty of opportunities to punch them through the
great,
chest and
they
grab
will
his
do
heart.
nothing. Geef is a monster. Geef has better technique. He competes
All
with
right. All right,
Go ahead.
Kidrex, thanks for
Thank
gifting
you,
that
Kidrex.
membership. Let's start getting to this vote, because I also want to make sure we can show off the sneak peek at the end of the show, just in case anybody missed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making up the poll in the chat. But while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and bring up the answers that you guys gave us before the show started on YouTube. Let's go ahead and bring up the first community answer.
Just a dude says, I mean, if you count the meteor feet that he hunted to one of the comics, I think good old Geef's got this.
Nice use of alliteration there,
Yeah.
person.
All right,
Missed
yeah,
the
yeah,
reason.
pretty good. Okay, and one more, the better one. For Goro.
Volk551 says, Goro is one of those powerful warriors in the history of Mortal Kombat, being able to win 9 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournaments, as well as defeating the great Kung Lao in his first tournament, which Shang Tsung in his younger form couldn't do. He also served as commander to Outworld's armies, crushed rebellions, and aiding in the conquest of many new realms for the Emperor. Goro got 4,000 years of experience.
Look at that goddamn resume, and you're out here telling me that somehow Zangief can compete with that? Nah.
Yes.
Nah. If I'm gonna hire a wrestler, like, I'm looking at the years of experience, how many worlds they've conquered, how many skulls they've crushed. Goro's got that in the bag. All right, the poll is
Zangief
up. Feel free to
accomplished-
start voting.
Like being like the best wrestler in the entire world in a shorter time span than Goro. So how about that?
Goro's
Goro's not
accomplished
even
it
a
right
professional
away.
wrestler. It's a weird
Goro
argument.
just held it.
Yeah.
He just held the champion title for 2,000 years. It didn't take him 2,000 years to become a champion. He held it for 2,000 years. Can Zangief say the same?
That's true.
Nah.
Only time will tell.
Has Zangief ever actually won a Street Fighter tournament? Nah. Yeah, he's never won anything. What a loser.
Damn.
I'm
Damn.
sure he did.
It's true.
Anyway.
All
It's
right,
true,
all
Zangief
right,
is
let's
a
go
best
ahead and get to
Zangief
this.
never won anything. The respect and admiration of children across the world.
Okay, you know what? I respect that. I admire that.
And bears. Yeah.
Oh,
And-
King.
yeah, and
King
Barrett.
is also.
Barrett.
It's between King and Potemkin for the best, for my favorite grappler. Actually, I think King. I'm going King. King is dope. From Tekken.
King would be a cool
We're not
death
Is the
even
battle.
talking about
Jaguar
King.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he's my favorite.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for
He
your
goes,
contribution.
Every time he talks, and people still understand him somehow.
Mhm. We should bring in King for one of these.
King would be
I-
awesome.
King versus Incineroar, I think it's the one to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one's
I think
great.
that's
like
the one
it.
that makes sense. Yeah, it's
Chat,
perfect.
let us know if you want us to do a King versus an Incineroar sometime in the future. That'd be a fun
Incineroar.
one.
I'd also love to do Alex. I think Alex is such
Oh,
a
yeah.
unique grappler, but that might just
We
be
should
my
do-
fighting
We
game.
should do Cole versus Alex.
Cole versus Alex. Yeah, Cole
Cole
we're doing
from
that
Mortal
episode this
Kombat.
year.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
That's what
Cole
we're doing.
versus
That's
Mortal
what-
Kombat
that's what
versus
everybody
Alex
voted
from Street
on.
Fighter.
Right? We
Mortal
actually
Kombat
started
versus Street
working on that
Fighter.
episode. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another Street Fighter.
Liam
versus
talked about this the
Mortal
other
Kombat
day.
episode.
What meeting
Yeah.
were we in where you're like, we should say it's Cole versus Alex, but it's actually Alex from Street Fighter versus
That was like
Cole.
last year, to be
Yeah,
fair, but
okay.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Listen, the other day
Yeah,
for
but I
me
thought it would be a
is
great
all
troll.
time that has previously
I made
happened.
like a whole thumbnail, like a Cole versus Alex thumbnail, and I was like we were like, how long can we put this up here and troll them before they fucking revolt?
All right, so let's go ahead and get to these votes, starting with the community vote from before the show. Let's go and bring that one up. First vote is
Whoa.
Goro.
Wow.
80%.
Damn.
I'm actually kind of shocked.
That is
Okay.
actually shocking.
I
That
think
is one vote for Goro.
I literally think fatalities are the only reason that was skewed. They think they're like,
I think
Mortal
so too.
Kombat,
I mean,
very violent. Kill Zangief.
That's fair. Like, since when has Zangief known how to rip somebody's heart out or pull their spine out of their back? Goro can do that. All right, let's get to our votes, and then we'll get to the community poll. So, Liam, who are you voting for?
Well, it's tough, right? Because it really relies on whether or not we scale Goro to Shao Kahn or
A
not.
bunch of random bullshit, basically.
So I'm gonna have to rely on a secondary source of unimpeachable veracity, a little show called Death Battle. Mike, I don't know if you got my message, but if you did, could you bring up that screenshot that I took of our episode, Goro versus Machamp? We maxed Goro out at 25 tons of TNT. That's less than anything that we said for Zangief.
582
So,
teratons?
yeah, that's a little bit less. Just a skosh less. So
Or
I'm gonna have to
41
go with
megatons, if we're doing the
41
haggar.
megatons, also a skosh less. So I'm gonna have to go with a Geef. Go with Geef. Go with God.
You could have waited to say that until after the community poll was done.
No,
I could have, couldn't I?
Until, you know, I reveal my bullshit.
I'm loving having Liam on my side. This is an amazing feeling.
All right.
I'm
We
loving
got
it.
one vote for Goro, one vote for Geef. Let's go ahead and get Billy's vote.
You know, my heart says Zangief for sure. The Bears make me think that. But based on the conversation we've had here, Ben, I think I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with Goro.
What? Go with
Yeah,
your
sorry,
heart,
Chad.
Billy.
Okay.
I want to go with Zangief, and I think, you know, if we were going with everything, it'd be Zangief. But based on what Ben was talking about, I'm going with Goro on this one.
Okay. That's
No.
2 votes for Goro, one
Dare you.
vote for Zangief. Let's go ahead and get to the community poll. We're going to end it in 3,
Oh,
2,
God.
1. And the final vote on the community poll is Zangief.
Yes!
With 61% of the vote.
What? That's a close? Well, kind of.
So once again, YouTube does the thing where they're like, we're not going to count a percentage because Goro's at 38%. So I have no idea what the
That's
heck's going on there.
weird.
1% or the
Okay, we are at a tie. 2 votes Goro, 2 votes Zangief.
Oh, man.
In this case, it's been a while since we've had a tie.
It's been a long time since we had a
We
tie.
hand it off to
No, we aren't. Didn't? Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Sorry.
to the director of the show.
I'm sorry. I forgot to count.
The guy manning this whole thing, who we couldn't do the show without, Mike, Zangief, or Goro. Who are you voting for?
I go with the Bears.
Yes!
Zangief wins. Wow. Okay.
Go with
Victory!
God. Go
Full
with
power
Geef.
Zangief is stomping the hell out of Goro.
So
Yeah.
full disclosure, I was fucking lying. I was fucking lying. I mean, not exactly. I mean, I'm not like just completely
Yeah.
bullshitting, but like Goro doesn't scale to Shao Kahn. Like that's
No,
ridiculous.
not at
Yeah. No, I don't think
I
so.
was trying my best to like imply it without like outright being like he's as strong as Shao Kahn, but like there's no way.
You could lie. You could lie.
Technically speaking, the rule is we can win with any means necessary. So, whoops.
There's just two ridiculous feats for like that Zangief scales here, and it's just like, yeah, I didn't want to come out the gate with this because it's just insanity.
Oh my god. Although I do think, you know, having 2 extra arms does help, but you know, against meteors, maybe not.
Well, I originally was like, we should do Honda, just because it was funny to me to do 4 arms versus 100 hands.
That's fun too. Yeah. That's fun too. But then we couldn't talk about the Bears.
Yeah, you got to talk about the Bears.
You know.
I would love to watch Zangief just lock down all 4 arms with technique. I know he would do it.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, he'd find
Lift
a
him up,
way. Yeah.
pitch him down. He's
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks everybody for sitting through that and experiencing that sort of crazy wrestling match.
Well, it's fun. I mean, we haven't talked grapplers in a while, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say
Um,
more down to earth, but then we did get into like planet level shit. So
Yeah.
This street level fight where they're just blowing up meteors and dodging lasers. Yeah, no problem.
yes,
All right. So again, the Skyrim versus Dark Souls episode is coming out next week or this weekend, essentially. Sunday for first and Planet Level Up members, and Monday for the public release. We are very excited to share it with you guys. This has been a long time coming. I feel like this is a matchup we've talked about many, many times, and holy shit, I think the team has kicked a lot of ass on it. Like props to Billy and his Vizpost team, Dido and the rest of the animators. Like damn, the fight just looks so fucking good. And of course, Liam and
Liam's
the researchers
this is Liam's
and
passion project. So-
yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
really good episode. There's a
Sound
lot
design.
to it. I think it's one of our
Yeah.
longer episodes of the year thus far.
I think so.
'Cause there's just a lot to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, just talking about Dark Souls for the first time in Death Battle was like, what do we do? How do we explain this shit? So get ready for that. And if you've never played a Dark Souls game, you have no idea what's going on, don't worry. We try to explain it like as best as we can in a relatively brief amount of time in the rundown for the
It
Chosen.
just becomes a lore video for 3 hours.
And
yeah.
actually, the lore is actually incredibly important to
Yeah.
the victor. So stay tuned for that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up by showing that sneak peek one more time. But again, thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and be awesome. See you next
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead. Uskruna!